Hello everyone, my name is Mayur Sutar and welcome to my YouTube channel Anybody Can Code. Let's continue with the series of Python. In this tutorial, we will see functions in Python. So let's open Python script in PyCharm code editor. Please get all Python scripts of the tutorial from the GitHub link given in the description below. Here I have written the code already that will be explained in this tutorial. So first basic structure of the Python function in Python. So here it is. To define a function in Python, we must use the def keyword to write the function in Python. For more standard definition, please scroll over the def keyword and there would be pop-up standard definition of the function in Python that you can read it later. Okay. Now, to define a function, we have to use the def keyword, and after the def keyword, we have to give the name of the function. So here I have given add, or you can give anything. The name of the function, it is a case sensitive and it must be unique because you need to use the only the function name at a multiple places. Okay. Now after the name of function, there is a round bracket, and after the round bracket, there is a colon, and hit the enter, there is a required indentation. So one tab is equal to 4 spaces of default indentation. We are not going to change it. Okay. Here we can write down our code that we want to write. We want to print something, we want to do such a calculation, that we can do it here. And it is going to you are going to use the code, all the print statement or calculation, by using the function only. You don't need to write down repeatedly again and again. Okay, here I have used the pass because pass is going to just ignore the error and run the code. So I'm going to run it and see whether there is any outcome or not. So here there is nothing outcome because we have not written execute anything. We have not written any code inside the function. This is just a basic structure of the function. So there is a def keyword after name of the function, square, round bracket, colon, and code that we want to write down inside the function. Okay. Let's move to the next. Now we want to print something by using the function. So here I have written the one function by using the tab keyword. The name of the function is a func, and round brackets, colon, and inside the function I have written the code is a print hello world 1. Okay. Now you may have a question why we need to write down the print statement inside the function. Okay, because here I have written the one line of code, but there would be the requirement of the 1,000 or 100 or some 10 line of codes that you can write down in the function, and you can use that code by calling function only. You don't need to repeat the code again and again. If you are going to repeat the code, then here the example. If I want to write down the hello world 5 times, 10 times in a code, maybe my code is 1,000 line of code and I don't know where I need to repeat the same string again. So I'm going to write down it manually, right, like this. Okay. And once I'm going to execute the code, then it is going to give me the outcome hello world, hello world, hello world, hello world, because this is manually written. But what if I don't want to write down the string manually? So I can write down the function and I can just call that function only. Here it is. I have called the function and I got the same answer. But here I need to repeat the function repeatedly as well, right? Yeah, that's true, because function is going to execute the code inside the function. So here we have written the one line of code, but there would be the required might be you want to write down the 100 line of code and you want to repeat it again and again. So that's why you can define all the code inside the function and you can use it by calling the function only. You don't need to write down manually 100 line of code again and again. So that's why this is the reusability. We can reuse the block of code by calling the function only. Okay, great. Now I'm going to comment it out and move to the next. Next is argument. Here I have defined one function by using the def keyword, I have given the name as a func1, and inside the round bracket, I have written a. Its argument, and after that, I have printed that argument out a. Okay, but let's call the function. So here I have called the function one, but and see the outcome whether there is an outcome or not. So here we have received the one error, type error. Function one is missing required positional argument a. That's great. That means we have given the argument inside the round bracket, but here when we are calling the function, we did not give anything inside the square round bracket. That's why it is raising error. So we must give some value here that I have given here, hello ABCC. Now let's run this code and see whether there is any error or not. No, there is no error. That means we have received hello ABCC. And can we change the string? Yes. We can change the value of argument whenever we are calling the function. That's good. That means by using the argument, we don't need to write down any static code inside the function. We can use the argument and we can update the code dynamically by using the database, by getting the user input, whatever we want, whatever is flexible for us. So here, here I have written manually that we can get the user input as well, or we can replace the argument value by using the database that we have. Okay. Next, we can use the argument to perform the mathematical calculation as well. Here it is. Here I have written the code, define function one, and inside the round bracket I have given two arguments a and b. And after that, inside the function, I want to do some mathematical operation. So multiplication, addition, subtraction, division. And here I have called the function one, and in replacement of argument I have given the value 10 and 5, and I'm going to run this code and see the outcome. So here I have received the result of the mathematical operation. So that's why we can get the user input to update the value of argument, or we can use the database and do the mathematical operation. And the same operation, if you need to repeat at multiple places, we can use the function instead of do it manually. Okay, that's fine. Let's move to the next. Next one is default value of the function. So earlier we have seen we got an error where we did not give any value inside the function, where we have put the argument inside the function. Okay, so here it is. So here define function one, argument is a, but here we have given the default values a, b, c, c. Okay, and we want to print as a hello value of argument, whatever, whether it's a, b, c, c or something else. But when we are calling the function, we did not write anything. So earlier we have seen the type error, if you have remembered. But here, let's run and see. Here we haven't received any type error, but instead of, we have received the code because we have defined the default value of the argument inside the code itself. So that's why we haven't received any error. But can we change the value of argument? Yes, we can change the value of argument. So here I have written another thing, like we want to receive the input from the user. So I have used the input function, that is the pre-built in function that I have used. So I'm going to run the code, and here the first executed code is hello ABCC. That is the default value of the code. And another, it is asking me the user input. So here I'm going to give the user input. Let's say my name is Mayur, and hit enter. And then after the second second line of function code is executed, and we can see the hello Mayur. That means we can change the default value of the argument by getting the input from the user, or we can use the database and replace the value of the argument. That's great. Okay, now let's move to the next. Next is argument. So what is argument? So argument, that mean we don't know the length of arguments. So earlier we have seen that we can define the argument a b, but we don't know how many argument we want to define. Maybe we want to receive the unlimited items. So in this case, we don't need to define a b c d e f g h I. We can use only the star operator and give the identification of the argument. So here is a name, and we are going to print the name. Now the thing is that when we use a star operator, then it is going to accept the number of argument from the user, from the database, and we can update it and do our operation, and it is going to store in the tuple. Here we can see the uh, tuple. Okay, great. Now how we can see? So here I'm going to call the function. So my function name is args, and inside the args here we can see I have given the two value, or we can give the multiple value, not two. We can give the unlimited value, and let's run the code. And I have received the tuple, and inside tuple I have received the value that I have given. So that means there is a no restriction of the number of argument that we can store inside the function, and we can do the operation as well. So here I have given the numbers, but another thing, here I have used the uh, name strings, and with the strings I have used the for loop as well to extract the each value of the tuple. And here inside the function I have given some strings as well, and I have called the function 3, and inside the function I have given the for string, and I'm going to execute it. Then I have received the love and like coding, that means for string, and yeah, I have used for loop, that's why it is giving me the code in one line. If I'm going to remove the and try it again, then it is going to separate in the lines. Okay, that's great. That means by using the arg star operator, we can accept a multiple argument inside the code. Another thing, another way to use the argument, it is here. Like, okay, in the function we have accepted a limited argument abc, and we want to print it abc, or we want to do the mathematical operation with the use of abc only. But the abc value we can change from the database user input, but we have stored here in the variable, and inside the variable we have written three values, and that values we don't need to write down inside the function because it is matched with the number of argument. That why we are going to use only the call the function, and using the star operator we are going to give the name of the variable. So that is going to match. If it's a match number of value and number of argument, it is going to return the code. So here we can see hello world coding, but if I'm going to add one more value in the argument, then we can see it is a type error because fourth argument is not valid here. Okay, that's great. Now I'm going to comment it out, and let's move to the next. Next one is a keyword argument. That means argument is going to store with the key value that is here. So here I have defined a function name is a function 5, and after star star I have used the quarks, KWARGS. Instead of I can change the name as well, name, and that's one I want to print. Okay, so here inside the function 5 I have used the key and values. So first is the key, and after that is a value, key and value, key and value, key and value, and I'm going to print it out, and I have received a value in dictionary everything. So in dictionary we know is a first is a key, and after colon there is a value that associated with that key. That the value of the key we can access by using the key itself. Okay, so whenever it is required to store the values, or we have to do something with the dictionary, then we can use the uh, this operator when we have to use the 2 star instead of the 1 star, when we have to access the value or do something where there is a required dictionary operation. Okay, so this all for today. So we have seen the basic structure of the function in Python. We have seen the print statement in Python, that we can use the function at multiple places in our code. Maybe it's 1,000 line of code or 10,000 line of code, whatever is a requirement of the project. We can put the argument, and we can accept the user input. We can use the database to update the value of argument dynamically. We can perform the calculation. Uh, Default value of the argument by using the star operator, accept multiple argument by using the star operator, and uh, work with the dictionary by using the function. I hope you liked today's tutorial. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.